Xin kính chào quý vị đang theo dõi chương trình diễn đàn CEO trên kênh truyền hình Kinh tế Tài chính VITV. Thưa quý vị, đâu là những kỹ năng cơ bản để các sinh viên mới ra trường có thể nhanh chóng hòa nhập thành công trong môi trường làm việc hiện nay? Có lẽ vấn đề này không chỉ là mối quan tâm của các ứng viên xin việc mà còn của các nhà tuyển dụng. Tuy nhiên, có một thực tế là hầu hết các sinh viên chưa được chuẩn bị kỹ những kỹ năng cần thiết trong môi trường làm việc kinh tế sau này. Làm thế nào để nhà trường phối hợp tốt hơn với các nhà lãnh đạo doanh nghiệp và các nhà tuyển dụng? Làm thế nào để có mô hình hợp tác chặt chẽ hơn giữa hai bên để chuẩn bị cho sinh viên một nền tảng kiến thức và kỹ năng phù hợp với những đòi hỏi của công việc thực tế? Đây sẽ là những vấn đề được chúng tôi bàn luận trong chương trình diễn đàn CEO tuần này. Chương trình có sự tham gia của ông James Ma, Chủ tịch trường Đại học Niagara, tiểu bang New York của Mỹ.
Ông James Ma hiện đang là Chủ tịch Hội đồng Quản trị, hiệu trưởng thứ 26 của trường Đại học Niagara, trường Thiên Chúa giáo La Mã tư thục tại địa hạt Niagara, tiểu bang New York, Mỹ. Trước khi đảm nhiệm vị trí này, ông Ma đã có 2-3 năm kinh nghiệm về quản lý sinh viên tại Đại học St. John's, New York. Là người luôn hướng sự quan tâm đến những người xung quanh, ông James Ma khi còn làm việc tại Đại học St. John đã hợp sức với ban giám đốc điều hành, nỗ lực hết sức vì chiến dịch gây quỹ cho người nghèo, thu được hơn 1 triệu đô la Mỹ và vận động 800 đến 2.500 người tham gia cuộc chạy thi ở thành phố, với mục đích gây quỹ và phổ biến kiến thức về sự nghèo đói cho những người dân New York. Một điều đặc biệt, ông là người có tình yêu mãnh liệt đối với đất nước Việt Nam. Chính vì thế, ông luôn nỗ lực hết sức mình nhằm trợ giúp giáo dục cho sinh viên Việt Nam được đi du học tại Mỹ.
Well, James Ma, thank you so much for joining our program today.
Delighted to be with you today.
It's a
Thank you for
pleasure to
having
have
me.
you on the studio. Now, as president of Niagara University, what do you think are the essential skills that a university should prepare for their students so that they can enter the real world, and why are they so important?
I think a university at its core has to really do two things: prepare students for the workforce, but also see itself as a contributor to the economic and social development of the region where it's located and the world. And so for the students themselves, there are two essential areas of development. One would be the particular knowledge that they would need in their subject area as we move to a knowledge-based economy, but also what we refer to in the United States and otherwise as softer skills, the ability to communicate, the ability to write well, to work in groups and do group presentations, to express yourself, to think critically, and to not only learn the content of what's critical for your area, but learn how to learn. And that's really what a university should be focused on for our students and for our future.
You mentioned a really interesting skill, that is critical thinking. What is it in particular and how to develop it?
Well, one of the ways that we find at Niagara University that impacts our students very positively is the method of instruction, which is really focused on group projects and the teaching in such a way that students can apply the content so that they can actually take the theory of what they're studying and the content and apply it in a real-life, real-world situation. And that's how you prepare students for life after university, that they're actually taking the content that they're studying and they're applying it in a real-life and real-world context for, by the way, the world that they're going into, which is real life and real world.
You know, when you design your curriculum, do you balance between the two, between the technical skills that require for the job and the job skills that you have mentioned?
Yes, it's critical that you continue to balance that. And one of the ways that you do that is helping the students to be able to learn the theory and see the application of the theory and the knowledge content that they're studying so that they can apply it in a real-world context. For example, research. When you do research, it comes alive when you don't simply study methodology, but you actually take that methodology and you put it in practice. And about 46% of our undergraduate population at Niagara University report that they do research with a faculty member during their undergraduate career, which is one of our strong selling points because that's 25 points higher than the national average. And so it's really preparing students for real-world and real-life experience.
If we think about a government strategy, the first challenge is that for the leaders of the nation to really identify which skill matter the most to the knowledge-based economies. So from the Vietnamese case, what do you think are the needed skills for it to take out economic reforms?
Well, I think that we find that the students that we have from Vietnam, and as you may know now, Vietnam is seventh in the world in terms of the number of Vietnamese students who are studying in the United States, over 20,000. But the Vietnamese students are very, very well equipped to do well in a global economy. Why do I say that? First, because the Vietnamese people in general value education. Education is a strong value for families, and they make tremendous sacrifices for their children to have opportunities for higher education in Vietnam and throughout the world. Second, the Vietnamese people are highly relational people who value family and community, and that's very, very important in the workplace. Third, the Vietnamese people are a very loyal people. And so when you're looking for to hire employees, what are you looking for? You're looking for the skills, you're looking for the relationships, and you're looking for someone who's loyal and is going to be committed to the work of the company or the educational field. And so I always tell my Vietnamese friends that you have wonderful fundamentals to be very, very successful in the world. And so you build the knowledge on top of those fundamentals. And if you can put those fundamentals together with technical knowledge and the commitment to excellence in performance, the sky is the limit for the Vietnamese students and the Vietnamese people.
Vietnam has joined the ASEAN to establish the ASEAN Economic Community at the end of 2015. And also, we concluded negotiations for the TPP, and we're waiting to ratify that from 12 member countries. So these two very critical events will open up a free flow of labors between member countries. So what does it mean for Vietnamese labors?
Well, I think that what I often have said, when I became president of Niagara University 3 years ago, I asked the board for permission to open an Office of International Relations. And why did I do that? Because I feel an obligation as a president to prepare our students in the United States for entrance into a global economy that already is here. And so for the Vietnamese community and the country of Vietnam, the Asian Economic Group and the TTP are wonderful ways in which we see the expression of a global labor and workplace community that's already here and in place. And so these are organized ways structurally that we can really enhance our economy, focus also on issues around sustainability, global labor issues, and people's incomes as they go forward. And think about that in a global, and act on that in the global context, not just country by country. That's the old way, the siloed way of thinking. We have to think globally, how we can work together and how we can help each other as we go forward.
What about the Vietnamese worker? What should they pay attention to when Vietnam joins a bigger economy?
Well, I think the one of the most critical features, I would say, would be to think about yourself in a larger global economy. And many Vietnamese leaders speak to me about the importance of helping our workforce in Vietnam with English language training and development, because that really is the universal language of business in the larger global community. And I think also the importance of education, that the more that we can commit ourselves to being educated and challenging ourselves to education, the more we position ourselves for advancement as we go forward.
Thưa quý vị, vậy các nhà lãnh đạo doanh nghiệp Việt Nam họ mong muốn những kỹ năng và năng lực gì khi tuyển dụng các ứng viên? Mời quý vị cùng đến với những ý kiến được phóng viên VITV tổng hợp ngay sau đây.
Chúng tôi thấy hiện nay các cái doanh nghiệp cần các cái cán bộ công nhân viên một số các kỹ năng sau. Đầu tiên là kỹ năng sống và làm việc trong một cái môi trường hội nhập kinh tế quốc tế thì cần một cái nhân viên vấn đề về kỹ năng về mặt hội nhập. Cái kỹ năng thứ hai là kỹ năng về thuyết trình thuyết phục. Cái kỹ năng nữa đó là kỹ năng về mặt nhận thức. Nhận thức nó tương đối là quan trọng, bởi vì nhiều khi anh chuyên môn giỏi nhưng mà kỹ năng về nhận thức anh không được chuyên sâu, anh không quyết tâm về mặt công việc, anh không trung thực, không trung thành đối với một công việc, đối với những người xung quanh thì nó sẽ gây mất đoàn kết.
Cái liên kết đào tạo chúng tôi cũng phải làm thế nào đó để trả lời các nhu cầu tuyển dụng của các doanh nghiệp. Thế thì chúng tôi cũng có làm việc với một số doanh nghiệp thì thấy có hai cái điểm đáng lưu ý thế này. Cái điểm thứ nhất là họ cũng phàn nàn về trình độ của các em học sinh sau khi tốt nghiệp ra trường. Họ phàn nàn về cái điểm gì? Điểm thứ nhất của họ tức là những doanh nghiệp mà có tham vọng quốc tế, họ phàn nàn về tiếng Anh của các em là hơi bị yếu. Cái phàn nàn cái điểm thứ hai tức là các em được đào tạo các kiến thức là rất là tốt nhưng mà cái vận hành những cái bước đầu tiên ở tại doanh nghiệp ấy là hơi yếu.
Chúng tôi hoạt động trong lĩnh vực kinh tế tri thức, cho nên là chúng tôi rất là quan tâm đến cái kỹ năng của các cán bộ trong tương lai, cần phải quan tâm đến những cái hệ sinh thái về sản phẩm, làm sao phải có khả năng kết nối giữa tổ chức, con người, công nghệ với thị trường và tạo ra cái mạng lưới giữa thị trường nội địa với lại thị trường quốc tế.
Một người để có thể đáp ứng được cái tư cách là một nhân viên của một văn phòng luật sư, một công ty luật thì cái đầu tiên vẫn là cái nền tảng về kiến thức pháp lý. Cái kiến thức pháp lý là cái đầu tiên là các bạn có thể học trong các trường. Thì đương nhiên các bạn phải nắm bắt được những cái vấn đề cơ bản nhất về mặt pháp luật. Trên cơ sở những kiến thức cơ bản đấy thôi. Thì trong quá trình hoạt động, trong quá trình làm việc, tiếp cận thì các bạn phải có thêm những cái vấn đề về kỹ năng chuyên môn, kỹ năng về từ việc kỹ năng tiếp xúc khách hàng, kỹ năng về trao đổi, kỹ năng nắm bắt vụ việc, nắm bắt vấn đề.
Cá nhân tôi thì tôi cũng hay gọi các bạn là các bạn muốn cái gì thì các bạn phải làm cái gì. Tức là tôi cũng có một cái quan điểm nó cũng như là một cái sản phẩm của các bạn. Nếu các bạn thể hiện các bạn là sản phẩm lớn thì hãy thể hiện.
Our old education system was based on the idea of knowledge scarcity, but now knowledge is really available for free on the internet, connected devices. So I think that acquiring knowledge is only a small part of the learning problem. What's your take about the issue?
Well, I think I do in part. I think that technology should always be connected to really, really strong teaching and engagement. We're having this very discussion and dialogue in the United States around online learning and classroom learning. And what we're finding is that that when you simply go all technical and all online, you run the tendency of losing that critical engagement that can happen between a student and a teacher, a student and a professor. So we often try to combine, particularly for undergraduate students, using the technology and integrating that, but creating a hybrid model where the level of interaction is still there, the person-to-person contact, and integrating the best of technology into that with some online learning, with tools that are now available in technology. I think we'll always have that challenge. But what we find is we have to continue to pull the students back to making sure technology enhances and accelerates the learning environment, but doesn't replace it.
With all the trends happening now, what do you think are the suitable education models in an innovation economy?
I think that the critical model would have a couple of elements, and one would be that particularly the university itself is, we have a phrase in English, don't let the university become an ivory tower. Mm-hmm. In other words, it's isolated from the world. Rather, what the university should be is it should be a bridge where it brings communities together with a dynamic learning environment. And the traffic on the bridge is two-way, people going from the university and people from the community going into the university. The second thing that's critically important for universities and colleges to be relevant is they must also ask what are the outcomes that the students are going to gain and the families are going to gain by coming to the university. And so job placement, internships, opportunities to do research. At Niagara University, we have a 96% job placement rate. 75%, three-quarters of our students have internship experience. And I said previously, 46% have an opportunity to do research. Third, the university is responsible to impact the community and the world positively, economically and socially. So the jobs that are provided, the ways in which students go out into the community and offer their services in internships, in applied learning experiences, as workers now in the knowledge economy. For example, where Niagara University is located near Niagara Falls, New York, on the border of Canada in the United States, we annually contribute to the local region close to $225 million of economic development, directly, indirectly, through our students, through our faculty, through our employees, and through our impacts of the university. So for universities and colleges, it's critically important in this new model and this new age to be able to demonstrate how are you benefiting students, and how are you benefiting the larger community, and how are you benefiting the global community.
Keeping all that in mind, as the president of the Niagara University, what do you say as a philosophy of education of the NU?
What we typically use as our tagline is real learning for real life. And so that's really what we believe, that we want rigor in the classroom, we want the best teaching, the best techniques, the best opportunities for the students, and we want that to be impactful. So it helps the students to grow and be ready for the world that they're going into. And the most important thing is not only to equip students with learning and knowledge, but it's also to equip them with the ability to think about how to learn. Because in the course of their lives, they're going to change careers, they're going to go in different directions, and so they have to have that critical skill of being adaptable and flexible as they go forward, because in the course of their lives, the world will change.
We have talked a lot about the essential skills that one needs when they come to the real life. How do you equip that for your students?
Well, you know, there are certain transferable skills that are applicable in every walk of life. For example, one of our graduates told me that what she learned in her logic and her philosophy courses helped her to be very successful in the financial services industry, for which she had no education or training, but she learned great critical thinking and logic, inductive and deductive reasoning. Those are just examples of critical thought, of the ability to express yourself very well in writing, to express yourself very well orally. We have a number of Vietnamese students. We will have 45 Vietnamese students on campus this fall. A portion of them are from the Foreign Trade University. Their writing skills are exceptional, and the faculty tell me that. Those students are incredibly well positioned for the future to be able to go forward, because the differentiator can be if two students have very similar portfolios, that someone can get pushed a little bit more forward if they express themselves very well, if they're very good at critical thinking and thinking about problems and solutions, if they can present in a group and work with a group well. So those are the basic things, I think, that need to be enhanced and developed as we go forward.
As you said earlier, Niagara School will play as a bridge between your university and the real world outside. Can you tell more in detail about that? What is your plan? How do you connect your learning program with the experience from businesses in the United States?
Yes. So, for example, one of the things that you might be aware of is we're located 8 minutes from Niagara Falls, one of the 7 wonders of the world. And we have a College of Hospitality and Tourism at the university. It's a wonderful laboratory to be able to take students who are learning about hotels and tourism and the tourism industry and be able to take what they're learning in the classroom and then apply it in internships, working in events, working in hotels, working to build the tourism industry. And it's also one of the major emphasis in our region, in our New York State region of Western New York, to focus on tourism. So that's a simple example of being able to take an area of study and match it to a critical need of our region. So the student really learns the content, but they're also able to apply the content in a way that's going to help them to grow and to develop in ways that they've even yet to imagine.
What are the Niagara strengths and advantages in your teaching curriculum that make you stand out from other United States peers?
Well, there are a lot of great schools in the United States, and so, but one of the things that's critically important to Niagara University is our size. We are undergraduate and graduate size of about 4,200 students. Our undergraduate population full-time is 2,750 students. We don't want to grow beyond 2,800 or 850. That's really our size, and that's our brand. One of the things that the students tell me about our faculty is they use this phrase, they know our names. And what they mean by that is the faculty are very invested in the lives of the students. They're faculty who could be at major universities, large land-grant research universities, but they choose to be at Niagara because of our teaching mission. And I think that's one of the advantages that students need. They need faculty members who are going to answer their questions, who are going to meet with them outside of class, who are going to use groups to be able to help them to problem solve and educate and then come back together. So that's really clearly one very, very positive aspect. Our outcomes on job placement, which are at 96%, our opportunities for students to do research, close to 50%. Our internships, 3/4 of our students have applied internship experience while they're undergraduate students with us, are very, very positive. And I'd say, lastly, Niagara is an incredibly caring community. I often hear from the Vietnamese students who come to Niagara University, they love the beautiful 165-acre spacious campus, but they love how people are so respectful and warm and caring and friendly. And that's the best environment for learning. So you have a beautiful place to live and to study, that's your home, and you have a caring community that's really invested in your future and helping you to claim that future.
It sounds like you have a really personalized learning environment, right?
It's an incredibly personalized environment, and it's a wonderful environment to be president of.
Đại học Niagara University là trường Thiên Chúa Giáo La Mã Tư Thục tại địa hạt Niagara, New York. Học viện được thành lập năm 1856 với tư cách là một trường đào tạo giáo sĩ chỉ với 6 học sinh và 2 khoa đào tạo. Năm 1883, trường chính thức trở thành trường đại học mở cửa cho mọi sinh viên. Đến nay, Đại học Niagara có hơn 4.000 sinh viên theo học, trong đó có đến 75% sinh viên đến từ bang New York, 6% đến từ các bang khác và 18% đến từ nước ngoài. Từ 2 khoa đào tạo ban đầu, trường đại học Niagara đã phát triển thành một trường đại học toàn diện, cung cấp hơn 50 chương trình chuyên nghiệp và định hướng nghề nghiệp cho sinh viên đại học. Đội ngũ giảng viên và nhân viên làm việc tại Đại học Niagara lên tới 650 người. Với tỷ lệ sinh viên trên giáo viên khá thấp, các sinh viên đến đây sẽ nhận được sự quan tâm đầy đủ hơn từ các giảng viên. Đây là một điểm rất thu hút của trường Niagara. Với kinh nghiệm lâu đời cùng với môi trường năng động tại Mỹ, Đại học Niagara luôn có các phương pháp giảng dạy cập nhật hiện đại nhất cho sinh viên. Trường cấp bằng liên kết cử nhân, thạc sĩ thông qua các khóa khác nhau như khoa học và nghệ thuật, quản trị kinh doanh, sư phạm, quản lý du lịch và khách sạn, nghiên cứu chuyên sâu. Trong đó, chương trình cử nhân của trường về du lịch là lâu đời nhất trên cả nước, được thành lập vào năm 1968. Một điều rất đặc biệt, vị trí địa lý của Đại học Niagara nằm tại khu vực thiên nhiên ưu đãi với thác nước Niagara, một điểm du lịch nổi tiếng thế giới, và tại địa hạt Niagara, giáp Canada và Mỹ. Con người ở đây rất thân thiện và hiếu khách. Các sinh viên được tiếp xúc với môi trường sư phạm năng động, đa dạng và thân thiện với nhiều trải nghiệm thực tế thú vị.
Okay, can we talk more about Vietnamese students at Niagara University? What are the majors of their interests and how have they been doing so far?
They're first of all, let me answer your second question. They're wonderful, and we love having the Vietnamese students. They make a tremendous contribution, and our students from the United States and from Canada love them, and we love having them on the campus. Principally because of the values that they bring, that they take education very seriously, that they're very family and community oriented, and they're people of service. And those are universal human values, but they're lived out by the Vietnamese students, in a very, very positive way. Their main areas of study are business. We have 4 colleges in the university, so we have a number of Vietnamese students in our College of Business, hospitality and tourism. We have 2 Vietnamese students in our Arts and Science nursing program, and we have students who've come from Vietnam to study English as a second language as well, and in education. So they really are, there's a significant concentration in business and tourism, but they're spread throughout the 4 colleges of the university.
As far as I know, Niagara University not only try to attract Vietnamese students to go to your campus to study, but you also join some kind of business activity here in Vietnam, right?
We are. We're very involved with the Imperial Hotel Group in Vung Tau and in Ho Chi Minh City, and our College of Hospitality and Tourism at our university is working with the Imperial Hotel Group to be able to provide English language training for workers in the hotel and for aspiring students who want to work, study and work in the hospitality and the hotel industry.
Now, for those who are really interested to apply to study in your school, what are your recommendations for them? Because a Vietnamese student, they are quite familiar with the way of one-way teaching.
Well, I think one thing would be that remember that learning is always interactive. And so what we try to do at Niagara is create the conditions for people to learn. I have taught in the classroom myself, and I've often said that I learn as much from my students as they learn from me. They may not have the specific knowledge content that I'd be teaching, but I learn a lot about life and about what their questions are. And so for students from Vietnam, the one thing I would continue to say is educate yourself on global labor issues, and recognize that the Vietnamese culture and way of life has particular strengths that you need to believe in to give you advantage as you go forward. So the importance of relationships, of family, of sacrifice, of service. Those are things that oftentimes we don't, when we're in a culture and a country, we don't recognize that. But there are things that other people see as great, great values, and particularly in the United States. So continue to challenge yourself to think about learning as relational, as interactive, and where you can work together in groups on projects and problem solve. That's where the greatest learning really happens.
Well, James, thank you so much for your informative sharing today.
Ms. Hong, thank you for having me.
Thưa quý vị, đến đây chương trình diễn đàn CEO của chúng tôi cũng xin được khép lại. Quý vị có thể xem trực tuyến hoặc xem lại chương trình của chúng tôi trên website vitv.vn hoặc cập nhật những thông tin qua Facebook của kênh truyền hình kinh tế tài chính VITV. Cảm ơn quý vị đã quan tâm theo dõi. Xin kính chào tạm biệt.